I knew it wouldn't be so easy to get rid of these demons. After my clear message that I'm cutting them off, the attacks only intensified. They're doing everything they can to pull me back so that they can continue harvesting me, so that they can survive. The curses that I return back onto them. Every second night, this group of cultists, Satanists, is attempting to harvest my energy, yet they're failing. But the disrespect will not be taken lightly. Therefore, they will be exposed. Mr. Randy W. Arons and Miss Scarlett Kirschbaum, they're both Satanists, and they both belong to a coven, a bigger coven. However, they have created a lair in their home with other people, and they all made a deal to work together towards their selfish gain. Only God knows the total number of people they hurt throughout time. Now they're aiming at me, and they don't want to give up, because my energy is so potent that it's addictive for these demons. Therefore, they will be exposed, and their methods will be clear to everyone. They created a living situation in a small circle of people where they all threw magic at their victims to confuse them, to make them obsessed, to make them depressed, to lower their life standards so that they can harvest from them and eventually sacrifice them. Miss Scarlett had a chance to follow my lead and get out of this situation, to redeem herself and fulfill the prophecy. However, few days before my judgment, she chose to sell me out once again, thinking that I do not know about all the spells throughout the years that she threw at me, trying to dominate me, attempting to control me so that she can finally win me over for their dark daddy, the leader of the coven. She also commits a fraud to make money in collaboration with a certain person working for justice system, which she meets for business and pleasure at hotels, where she received recently an incurable sexually transmitted disease as a reward and karma for working against me. The way these people operate is hidden from the shadows, and no one can ever realize what is truly going on. The ladies are using their attributes to lure in men who show any sign of abundance. These people together mark their victim, and then they throw at them come-to-me spells and love spells to make them obsessed. 5 fat red candles. By the time they're done, the target is crazy. Then they give 1 or 2 hooks. They say something or give something, give a sign to show the victim a slight interest. Then they pull back, and the victim does not know what happened, so the victim begins chasing like crazy. Then a mental, psychological warfare begins to manipulate and dominate the victim, while simultaneously the victim's finances are cursed, the living situation is cursed, family life is cursed, everything to bring the victim's mentality and emotional state and the victim's vibration as low as possible. This has to be done in order for the harvest to work the best way possible. by creating an obsession and infatuation in the victim. This way, an energetic cord is attached between victim's sacral chakra and the handler's sacral chakra. After that's done and the victim is ready for the harvest, these people in their circle, in their home, begin their satanic orgies where they all fuck each other, and the entities that work with them transfer that energy from the victim through the sacral chakra of the handler to the rest of them. They all share equally, and that reflects in their abundance, in their finances, in their opportunities. They also harvest people's beauty, they harvest people's looks, they harvest people's confidence, and so on. Absolutely everything can be taken away, and once the victim is so weak and so depressed and so down that it cannot go anymore, they finally go for the sacrifice, and they kill the victim, while the entity gets its own cut, and they get their cut from the sacrifice. And then they move on to the next victim, and the pattern repeats. Right now, they're trying to repeat all of this yet again on me. They think that it worked in the past, and it will work again. In this moment, I'm being severely cursed. My life situation is cursed, and they're attempting to get me out of my home. They also cursed my finances and my work opportunities. What they do not know, exactly like the ones before them, is that I am a master, and I mastered conservation of energy. I learned throughout my life how to go on bare minimum and survive on scraps. This was my training and preparation for this time of war. Sometimes I eat, sometimes I don't, and I'm okay with that. I breathe and I take the sunlight in to keep myself fueled. This way, I am going to outlast their curses, while the curses will return to them multiplied, and they will not outlast these curses because they are not trained and prepared for that. Patience wins in this case, as the curse has to run its course. On top of that, they continue their attempts to harvest my energy through my sacral every second night. My guides advise me to completely cut off the connection in emotional and mental bodies, so that they have no access point, no portal through which they can hook. However, I chose to follow a different tactic, since I don't give a fuck anymore, and I have absolutely no compassion for these scoundrels. I'm going to take pleasure in completely destroying them and giving them hell before they reach the actual hell, as a demonstration of what awaits them in the afterlife. They think that they are vampires. However, they are nothing compared to the ancient Dracula. 2 harvests ago, I prepared myself and I set my ancestral team on standby. Once they began their sexual orgy to harvest me, my ancestral team stepped in and they moved their entities aside, since they do not match the power of my ancestral team. And then I began reversing the harvest. All of them were connected to my sacral chakra, and I set up a shield on my sacral chakra. I locked it with a key, and the key went to my loyal pet, Cerberus, to be hidden away from the sight. The shield only lets the energy to come into the sacral. It does not let the energy to go outside of the sacral. I also set up a sieve that protects me from transferring sexually transmitted diseases from them so that they left with the shit that they have. And I only take the pure energy from them. Then I began reversing and feeding on all of them. And once I had an established flow that was reversed, since all of their minds together cannot even match the power of my mind, I quadrupled the flow to take any life force remaining from them.
It's like you're everywhere at once. You literally have that omnipresent God type essence and energy, okay? And so this is the vibe, y'all. This is the crazy thing. So these individuals that recently did this group ritual, right? Something very, very crazy transpired. Something unexplainable transpired while these individuals was doing this ritual, okay? It is you. It's you, okay? Your higher self showed up and scared the fuck out of these people. Something very haunting, something very supernatural took place while these individuals was summoning your energy.
I took everything they've got and I repeated that again the last harvest. Soon their skin will become like a dry resin. They will begin aging 3 times faster. Their nails will break. Every day they are waking up without energy, like they didn't sleep anything. And they will have absolutely no will to go on throughout the day. They won't be able to work, and there will be no opportunities or finances coming their way, since it's all transferred to me every time. That entire house full of satanic people is now my food, and I will feed on them for as long as it's needed while they're waiting for their turn to be decapitated. On top of that, my ancestors of the dark are haunting their house and haunting their dreams, making them go nuts and crazy, fucking up their minds so they cannot get a peaceful sleep, not a single night. Additionally, I have installed a seed into their reproductive organs, a seed that is so high vibrational they will never be able to find it, because they would have to heal, sober up, go through certain portals and upgrade their DNA to raise their vibration so high that they will be able to perceive that seed. That seed in their reproductive organs will act as an alarm and is letting me know whenever they want to have sex or they will have sex with anyone. For me, that means feeding time, and I will stop anything I'm doing currently to harvest their energy and eat it up while they're fucking. This way, I will use their greatest weakness, lust, against them to finish them off. Soon they will lose their house and they will have no work. They will have no means of making money, and the entities that work with them will abandon them. They also have no protection, as my team stripped them down from any protection. On top of that, their Coven Master, the Dark Daddy, was stripped down from everything. Another F-Angel came to help and fight the battle. And I have eaten Dark Daddy's abilities, so he is naked and he has no abilities anymore and no power. He's terrified right now. His people are rebelling against him and he does not know what to do, so he's asking another coven with much larger structure to help. I cannot wait. We will eat them too. And fuck them up. The Dark Daddy is nothing but a loser. Whatever he always was, a useless piece of shit. And his money will also run out, thanks to the curses returned back to him. Miss Scarlet chose to try and humiliate me instead of picking her way out in the prophecy. She worked so hard throughout all this time to dominate me, to have control over me, to wipe that smile off my face, to destroy my confidence. She wanted to teach me a lesson with her friends. They laughed, they mocked everything. And now they will be crying down on their knees, begging God to save them from the dreadful judge. While they're suffering in hell, right before they turn to be decapitated. Seeing me, Scarlet, I realized something very important. You might be a mirrored reflection of me, but you're a mirrored reflection of my dark side. On the contrary, Miss Morgana is a reflection of my light side. I figured out, after all the magic that you thrown at me, after how badly you wanted to get me depressed, when I'm in your presence, I have to fill your cup and I feel depressed. However, Morgana always makes me laugh. This is the difference between the both of you. But both of you tried to manipulate me under your control, play mind games with me, and dominate me, because both of you were acting as handlers for a bigger group. I hope you are proud of yourself and your achievements. I cannot wait until you take ecstasy pills, get drunk again, and have an orgy, because it's feeding time for me. And there is nothing you can do. No amount of you can overpower my mind. You have lost. Accept it. And sit the fuck down. Stay in your lane. And wait for your turn to beheading. Get it? And when it comes to Miss Morgana, her ex is also very obsessed and watching me right now. Listen, boy, I will give you warning only once. If you disregard my warning, I'll turn your life into a fucking nightmare. You won't be able to sleep, and everything in your life will collapse. And depending on the judgment and what dark secrets I'm going to expose of yours, you might end up beheaded too. So I'll give you this chance only once. Turn around and get the fuck out of my sight. Leave me alone and leave her alone. Capiche? There will be no more warnings. Next time you will suffer. The only reason I left in the first place is because of you. And the only reason why she got with you is because her dead corpse of a cousin did a fuck ton of witchcraft to make a puppet out of her mind. The same as she did to me, and now she's paying for it. Have a look and see for yourself. Escort session is over.
Really pick it up, bro. That would be the last. When you showed up, bro, it's like you shook these people's soul, if they even embody one, okay? You shook the soul out these motherfuckers. These guys, man, it's crazy, okay? It's crazy. Something very, I'm getting like, it's like a force. Y'all know, like in that movie Carrie, when she got mad and all this crazy shit was happening. What I did it though, it was candles, okay? Because I'm seeing this in my third eye. Candles, and it was motherfuckers dressed in all, like in burgundy. I'm getting red, okay? They had so many candles lit, and when they was attempting to summon you, all the candles blew out, bro. Okay, it's like a force field. It's like a forceful. It's like an energy manifested and like literally shook these individuals up. It shook the room. Literally, I'm getting this energy was very powerful. It scared the fuck out of them. Okay, they wasn't expecting that.